guys, it's Tracy from Nova Scotia Living, and today we're going to make some corn chowder by request. There's Mr. Mays, for those of you that have seen him in my other videos. If you're new to my channel, I want to say welcome, and I'm really glad you got to swing by today. We're going to have corn chowder for supper tonight, and yeah, I have some buns, like dinner rolls, rising in the oven now to go along with it. So if you want to see that recipe, I'll put a link to that down below in the description. So please check that out too, because it's so good. It really is. And this is going to be a perfect match. Anyways, the ingredients that I generally use for my corn chowder, it might not be the same. I think there's so many different varieties of corn chowder that you can use. This is just what I do. So I put ham in my corn chowder. I have 2 ham steaks, and it doesn't always have to be this kind of ham. Whatever you have. If I had a leftover ham roast, I would have cut that up and put it in it. It's just, this was on sale. This is what I got, and I'll show you what I do with it, when we prep it all. I have a block of butter, because we're going to make a roux later with some flour. I have a cup of flour. We might not need that all, but it's just what I got out. I have a tub of sour cream. I'll show you what we use that for. A couple onions, some celery. I need to get stuff prepared and ready, and I'll tell you how many stalks, but it's all according to your specific taste, what you like. I like it nice and chunky and thick, so I use a lot of ingredients, and it'll look like I'm making a giant pot full. It's because I am. I have a big family, and we eat a lot, so yeah. I have some of my salted green onion tops. I'm going to use a couple tablespoons of that, or a tablespoon of that, again, depending on. I don't have my own home cream style corn. I need to learn how to make that. I don't know how. I have 3 cans, and I have 2 jars of my home canned corn. I have more if I need it. A big basket of potatoes. We probably won't use that all. There's Mr. Mays again. I'm using whole milk because that's what I have. And am I forgetting anything? Oh yeah, did I say I use this chicken stock stuff, and I actually have my own home canned chicken stock, but this is like a bouillon concentrate. I find it really works well with this, because I'll show you how I use it. And I don't use that all the time for cooking, but when it comes to corn chowder, you know, it really kicks it up a notch. So yeah, in a little while I'll get the veggies prepped, I'll bring you along, and we'll have a little chit chat. So just buckle up, and I'll be right back. Alright, I just got done peeling a pot of potatoes. I forgot to count how many, but again, however many you think that your family would eat. We're potato eaters, and it just adds a lot of bulk. It's a good way to stretch a meal, like to add as many vegetables as you can, and especially if your family likes them. I just wanted to bring you back and show you. I cut it up in little bite-sized pieces, and I'm going to parboil these, kind of like how I did for the corned beef hash, if you've seen my St. Patrick's Day part 1. So till it's just about done, but not quite all the way. And I'm going to salt the water, and yeah, I'll get that boiling, but I'll bring you back when I'm prepping the other veggies. Alright, I just rinsed them, so now I'm filling the pot up. I'm just going to add a little salt. I don't know, a tablespoon or so. And yeah, I'll boil these for probably 10-15 minutes, but I'll let you know. And every stove's different. Here in Canada, I mean, some people have propane stoves or gas stoves. We generally have electric, so it's a little different than if you're using a fire. Alright, I'll be back. Alright, so I used 4 stalks of celery. There's Miss Misha. And I just cut it up small. Some pieces are bigger than others, but do what you like. Do what you like. Like Digital Underground. Get it? Alright. On to the onions. And the good old chopper. Nice and small. Alright, I cut up one of the ham steaks. I'll insert a picture here. And I took out mainly the fatty pieces. There's a few with a little bit of fat, but you'll see in the picture that there was a bunch of fat in the middle, and I took the little bone out. So I still have one more steak to cut up, and then I think that's pretty much all the veggies we need to prep. I'm not going to film the rest of this until after lunch today, because it's good after it sits a bit. Misha and Maze, no, they're playing drums with the corn. We'll put it together then, and it'll be ready for supper because I'm finishing up with these buns. And I forget if I mentioned, I'm filming 2 videos at once. Yeah, I think I already mentioned that I was making buns with this. I think in the other video I forgot to mention I'm making corn chowder. We'll see. But just, yeah, remember to check out the link below if you want to see how the buns are made. Bun buns. Okay. Alright, now we're going to start working with the vegetables. I put about 2 tablespoons of olive oil in here. Warmed it up. And I fry everything all up together. I know I've mentioned this in other videos. I put it in the onions and the celery together. And I'm gonna, the heat is on like medium high. No. Well, it's on a 7 on the dial, so whatever you think that's at. I'm gonna cook these until 1 or 2 minutes till they get a little bit translucent. Not completely. And then I'm going to add that ham to it and fry the ham up. I'm hoping you can hear me over this sizzle. I don't want to cook this on super high. I might actually turn it down a little more, between a 7 and a 6. Because I don't want to burn any of these vegetables. I just want the juices to come out of them. And then I add the ham and then we fry that up together. So when it's time to add the ham, I'll bring it back so you can see what it looks like. Alright, that's loosened up a bit. I'm about to get the ham out of the fridge and we'll add that to the mix. Okay, it's starting to sizzle, so we're going to dump this pan. And I'm just going to incorporate this in with the onions and celery, and it'll start to brown a little bit. And then we'll move on to the next step. I'll bring you right back. Alright, it's still between a 7 and a 6 on the dial, but as you can see, I don't know if you can see, there's a lot of steam. Just hold on a second. Okay, I just shut the burner off for a second so you can see. There's quite a bit of liquid, like juices, that were released from the vegetables and the ham. So I just turned it back on. I'll just turn it down a bit. I don't want to start blaring it and burn it. I'll turn it back down to the 7, between 6 and 7. And this is what I use that chicken stock concentrate for. I just go around the pan just like that, and that's really all I use. And it coats everything. And I'm going to cook this a little while longer. I'm not trying to fry it so it's charred or anything like that, but just to get all the juices and the flavors all combined. So when you have the corn chowder, every bite has like a burst of flavor. So I haven't added any salt to this, mind you, because there's salt in that bouillon and there's salt in this ham for sure. So I haven't added any salt. I did salt the potatoes, but not very much. Just when I boiled it, like in the boiling water. But I'm just going to keep this going for about another 5 minutes or so. And I'll stir it occasionally. And then we're going to shut it off. And then it's about 1:45. Then we'll start making the roux and start to really assemble this chowder. Alright, I have my big stock pot here. And I just put the block of butter in there. I'm going to start to melt that, and then I'm going to add this. I think I am going to use all this, well, it's almost a cup of flour. And we'll mix that up, and then start slowly to add a bit of milk. So I'll bring you back when I'm adding the flour. I had to add more milk to it because it thickens up so quick. You have to add the milk as soon as it does that, or it's going to start scorching to the bottom. But remember, we still have a lot of stuff to get in this pot. I have to change this little boy's bum. I'm going to cool the heat for a minute and change him, or he's just going to be ranging and ranging and ranging. I'll be right back, guys. Alright, I'm back. If you guys can see, I'm just shutting that off. It thickened up on its own. Can you see that? The camera's picking that up? But we still got a lot more stuff to add to this. So I'm going to keep adding milk and letting it thicken up and keep adding milk and so on until I've reached the top. Well, not the top of the pot, but until I think that's enough to cover the veggies and stuff that we're going to put in here. So I'll show you that when it's time. I just want to show you, I'm going to add, well, it's more of a tablespoon, I'm using a fork, but of my salted onion tops to this. So although I didn't add salt, those certainly have salt, and it adds quite a bit of flavor. If you don't have that, you can use some of that instant onion soup mix or something like this. I find this is equivalent to that in the flavor department, but at least with this, I know what I'm putting in my chowder. I just want to say I'm adding the ham and onions and celery and chicken bouillon all in there now. I'm going to get a spatula and really scrape the bottom of this frying pan. I want every little bit of juice that's in there. It's just I'm doing this one-handed, so I just wanted to show you what I'm doing. And I'm still going to be adding some more milk and stuff to this chowder. It's just I do this in layers, bit by bit by bit by bit, and then it all comes together in the end. Alright, now I just opened my 2 jars of corn. I just need to show you. This is how I cook. Little Mr. Mays is always standing right around me. Of course, when I bring the camera out, he runs away. But I put it in with juices and all, because that's all flavor right there. This is my home canned corn. I know what's in it. There's just a tiny, maybe a half a teaspoon of salt. Mays, leave the dishwasher alone. Jeepers creepers, these kids, I'm telling you. Now I'm going to open the cream corn and put this in too. Okay, I just added 3 cans of cream corn, that's French, cream style corn, and this is nice and thick. I haven't even added the potatoes yet, but you guys can see that. It's certainly a chowder. It's not a soup, it's a chowder. It's going to be so good. So we still have the potatoes to add, and I put a little sour cream in near the end, and you might be thinking, what, really? And yeah, I do, because it adds that silky flavor, silky feeling texture to the chowder. It really sets it off, it does. So I'll start adding some potatoes little bit by little bit, because I don't want to get splashed as this is hot. And we'll come back and take a look at it then. Now that's a chowder right there. Look at that. It's thick. It's delicious. I'm going to just make sure that this all gets up hot again. Those potatoes weren't cold, but they've been sitting out for a while covered. And when it gets up, I'm not going to bring it to boil because it's so easy to scorch a dish like this on the bottom. It's a nice thick bottom pot, but you got to stir it constantly. You got to be careful because there's flour and, you know, it scorches easy. And then I'm going to turn it way down and add that sour cream and just let it sit. It's only it's almost 2:30. We're not going to eat supper until 4:30, 5 o'clock. But this is going to stay on low, being stirred occasionally. It's not cooking, it's just going to be warm. And the longer this sits, it's one of those dishes, the longer it sits, the better it tastes. It's true. I put a little parsley on it. And I've made this before. If I had leftover cooked bacon in the fridge, I'd crumble that on top. Oh, it's so good, really. Anyways, I'll bring you back when we add the sour cream. Okay, I'll let this sit for a bit, and yeah, I'm just going to add this to it. It's cooled back down. It's not cooled down, but it's not bubbling or anything. I'll scrape the rest of that out. I'm just doing this one-handed, remember? So I'm just going to stir that in, and it was just like a small tub of it, and that was 55% less fat. It was only $1. It was on sale, so I shop deals, guys. I do. And it just adds that silkiness, like I said. It's really nice. It's rich. This isn't, I wouldn't say a healthy in, you know, like it's a heavy meal, a heavy chowder, but it's chowder. You get a bowl. Check out those rolls that I made. Those buns. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. Yeah. Okay, this is Messiah. She's going to try the corn chowder. She loves corn chowder, but this is the first taste of this batch.
It's good. Awesome.
These are homemade rolls we made today. She wants to taste those too. Good? Yeah. Do you like dipping them in your corn chowder? Yeah. Okay. Well, say see you to everybody.
See you later.
Say thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Okay. This is Tracy from Nova Scotia Living signing off. Thanks for joining us today in making corn chowder for supper. And yeah, swing by tomorrow and we'll see what kind of trouble we can get into then. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And check us out on Facebook too under Nova Scotia Living. So, all right, everybody have a great evening.
Bye.
Say bye, Mish.
Bye.